Today I'm reviewing the NeoHipo ET30 amp speaker switcher with these badass VU meters. In fact, this whole thing is pretty badass. The ET30 is an amp speaker switcher, as I mentioned. It allows you to switch between two sets of speakers and two amps, which is more useful than you may initially think. Hear me out. To be 100% honest, I had never heard of NeoHipo. It's a funny name. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is what it is. They reached out to me after I reviewed the Fosi Audio LC30 amp speaker switcher. I loved the Fosi switcher. My only complaint was that the VU meters barely moved. Interestingly, as you can see from the inset video here on the screen of me unboxing that Fosi Audio switcher, both the Fosi Audio and the NeoHipo switchers came in nearly identical boxes. I don't know what's up with that, man, but there you go. The NeoHipo, it retails for about 200 bucks in Canada and 160 bucks in the US, but goes on sale. Keep an eye out for that. Out of the box, I dug the styling of the device, especially the large VU meters. It sounds like I'm obsessed with those, but I do dig them. I like the cool retro look. Looks good. It's not particularly heavy, but it feels sturdy enough. The casing is metal of some sort. Let's go to the next room and take a closer look.
Channel 33 RPM.
All right, let's take a closer look at the switcher, see what everything is. This little button here, you can switch between amp A and B. This button here, you switch between speaker A and B. This little button is a power switch. You power it on, and yet also if you hold it, you can switch sound reception mode. So that basically controls how the VU meters pick up sound, either directly or through a built-in microphone. What do we have here? Swing range. That controls the swing of the VU meters. This knob is sensitivity. That one, I wrote in my notes, was a bit tricky for me to figure out, but it basically controls how fast the VU meters fall back, if that makes sense. This control here says color and light. NeoHipo says you get 5 levels of brightness and 34 colors. I never counted, sorry, but that seems reasonably correct to me. On the back you have all these speaker binding posts, and that's how you connect all of this, right? It's all done through speaker wires. So here you have the outputs for 2 sets of speakers, right and left. And here you have the input. And on the input, you have the amplifier inputs. As I said, you connect all of this via speaker wires. So you have your amp, and you have the speaker wire, but instead of running it to speakers, you run it to here, right? That's how it works. It controls 2 amps and 2 speakers, and you can switch between them. Also comes with this remote, which has many of the same functions as those buttons I just showed you. You can switch between amps, speakers, you can switch the brightness of the lights, the color. You can also quickly switch between yellow and green for colors. There's also this MD mode, which I did find a little difficult to master. My contact at NeoHipo explained that in M mode, the pointer jump range is compressed. So in songs with a lot of dynamics, the needle doesn't consistently sit in the red or completely bottom out, if that makes sense. In the D mode, D stands for direct mode. And in direct mode, the VU meters are more responsive, right? Does that make sense? There you go. So how did the ET30 perform? I tested the NeoHipo in my home theater setup. I've used it for about the past 4 weeks. Specifically, I used it to switch between 2 amps. A Yamaha, or Yamaha for my American viewers, a Yamaha receiver for TV, movies, and streaming, and a vintage Sansui amp for spinning records. Both systems use those same front speakers, a pair of Fluon's tower speakers. So first, I love the idea of using an amp speaker switcher. Using a switcher has made my home theater setup much more versatile. It's basically doubled the versatility of that system, right? I got 2 systems using the same set of speakers. I love it. The ET30 didn't color the sound at all. To my ears, it was all perfectly neutral, and the switching was quick and quiet. One of my complaints with the Fosi Audio LC30 switcher was that the VU meters didn't move much unless the system was cranked. That wasn't the case with the NeoHipo. Even at quiet or quieter listening levels, the needles are jumping. Just got to adjust the sensitivity. I also like the control you have over the color of your displays. I couldn't quite dial in that Macintosh blue that I wanted, but I got good yellows and oranges. And if you want, you can shut off the lights completely, which is very helpful in some circumstances, like I'm watching a movie in a dark room. Bright lights emitting from these two windows could be distracting, right? So I like the fact you can shut those lights off completely. So what's my bottom line? The NeoHipo is a versatile amp speaker switcher that works well, doesn't mess with the sound, at least to my ears, and has some cool customizable features. The ability to fine-tune the swing and sensitivity gives the NeoHipo a major advantage over the Fosi switcher. That said, I never completely mastered that sensitivity knob. Aside from the VU meters, the NeoHipo and Fosi switchers performed equally well. Here they are side by side. The NeoHipo is a little wider than the Fosi switcher, but the Fosi one is a little deeper. The Fosi one feels a little sturdier and a little heavier than the NeoHipo as well. That said, the NeoHipo has found a new home in my home theater at around $200 in Canada and $160 in the US. It's priced well and performs as promised. Yeah, the VU meters are there strictly for show, but they do look cool and add a retro touch to my setup. NeoHipo did a good job with this one. Congratulations, guys. I look forward to seeing what else this company comes out with in the future. All right, 33ers, speakers, switchers, do you use one? Would you use one? Do you find them valuable? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I will be back again really soon. Till then, keep on spinning.